What's going on, family? What's up, Black family? It's Super Mike. I'm out and about. I'm thinking about the stinking dogs, Bill Clinton, Black community. Why do we still even allow filth like the Clintons in our presence? Why are they even something? Why can they even expect to be really fucking listened to or considered by us? But it's okay. We just got to keep working on. And see, this is the reason why so much talking and less action. Unfortunately, we have to get enough people together with the right mindset before we can start doing action. And that takes all this talking. We want to pick up guns. We want to give us big, giant lots of money. But our people, we could get access to all that right now. We have the numbers to do it. But it takes all this talking because it's really literally all in our mind. The very second enough of us, our people, understand the proper behaviors. There are certain fucking behaviors. Claude Anderson told us that. There's a such thing called inappropriate behaviors. There's certain behaviors when you are under, it's just, for example, if I was to walk across the street and a car begins to come at me, if I want to live, there's certain behaviors I need to do. Evasive maneuvers. If I hear gunshots outside, and I safer inside, if I want to keep living, there's certain behaviors that I should be doing. If I see someone stealing my car in progress, there are certain types of behaviors that one would expect, from me. If I witness someone stealing my vehicle, there's a certain set of behaviors. And black people right now, we are in a situation that we're not obeying any of the appropriate kind. We're not enough of us. Not enough of us are obeying the appropriate kinds of behaviors for us to make any kind of progress, with our situation. Therefore, those relatively few people who actually understand the kinds of behaviors needed must talk to the rest of us, because we can't do certain things by ourselves. It literally takes more than 10,000, for the level of change that we really need to get what we're trying to get going. It literally takes, I would say, at least 1 million people doing the appropriate behavior. Because the point is, you don't really have the option of leaving as a group. You don't have the option of leaving Black America unless you are just going to turn into something else. Because when you so-called leave the community that produced you and your family, what you're doing is leaving your entire history. You're leaving your entire legacy. Let's say you marry outside and then you teach your children to stay away. What you're doing is you're erasing your past. You're erasing yourself only. But the rest of us still exist and do what we do. So my point is, Black America, this is what the talking is for. And what I mean by this is the Clintons. Let's bring it back to them. There's so many documented evils that people like the Clintons have done to Black America as a group. They've set up situations in laws, signed laws, and all kinds of things that they knew that was going to disrupt our family structure. Extra long prison sentences. They didn't do it alone, but they did it. You see what I'm saying? Stealing from Haiti. with the rice, messing up their international trade situations. They're not the only white people who did it, but they did it. And the thing is, this stuff is exposed. But we still continue to allow these people to be in our situation. So I'm listening to the thing that Bill Clinton said. So at John Lewis's funeral, you got slimeball Bill Clinton. Why was he invited? Because these are the type of niggas or Negroes or people who like Bill Clinton despite the conditions that his policy created. Because right now what we're living in, in '94 Bill Clinton was the president. He did things that made him look good at that moment in time. But he pushed a lot of stuff down the can, and now we're feeling the effects of that. So the crime bill with the extra long sentences, these people have this, we think that punishment is the way to solve the problem of excessive crime and, excessive punishment. And you rule in fear, you rule with fear. You make everybody scared to do crimes. But now we should see that doesn't work. It actually makes it worse. But it's interesting when we deal with the opioid epidemic, we deal with the all of this situations with the white crime and how they handle their own people. They don't do themselves like that. They don't do themselves like that. So that should let us know that they know something about how to solve situations and how to keep peace, because that's the objective. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, what's up? Yeah, the objective is to keep peace and create a peaceful, civilized society. And in that, the money that people are using to incarcerate people, there's a lot of jobs out here that could be done, but you're not investing in the right people. They know how to do this thing. You got professional economists. These things are not hard to do, but the proper behaviors to develop the Black American community are not being done, and we can't expect it to be. The problem is we're expecting that behavior to be done by the American government simply because they take our taxes. And that's just stupid, really, by now. So once we understand that, you got Bill Clinton out here talking about with Kwame Ture versus, whatever that guy name is. He was actually my congressman in Atlanta. I can't even remember his dumbass name because he really did nothing, really. I can't remember any special thing that he did. John Lewis. And my point is with the Clinton. See, these people, they keep intimate details on black business. When black folks, we're trying to organize our community and trying to create, and Kwame Ture was the one who coined Black Power movement. So, and that is still true. You have to have actual power to dictate your situation instead of begging and pleading to get someone to do what you want them to do. You have to have the power unto yourself. And see, that is what we're needing to be doing. Black folks, we need to create situations where we're having the power unto ourselves. How do we do that? The proper behavior is to create investment groups, just black investment groups with loyal black leadership. That's what we do. People who do this, no matter whether they win or lose, investment groups, and begin that we can target and we can make the choice to invest in people and not invest in people. So, Bill Clinton said that they made the choice to, and with student nonviolent, and it just tells me that these people were picking our leadership. Kwame Ture, which at that time his name was Stockley Carmichael, and he was married to Miriam Makeba. Stockley Carmichael was a true revolutionary. He was really a revolutionary scientist. He did not compromise, and he didn't get the jobs that other people in the 60s, other black revolutionaries in the 60s got, because he didn't compromise. He knew what it would take to get black folks what we needed. And he didn't compromise on that. And so you got to think about it. Would the white man want Kwame Ture versus John Lewis? For the white man's perspective, he's going to want John Lewis. And at the time, would you want civil rights or the Black Power movement? Of course you would want the civil rights leadership, because they are more amenable to the white people's concern. They wanted to integrate. They wanted to try to work something out with white people, and white folks knew that they had more experience in ruling and running society than we had, and so they would always come out on top of us. Black people, you can't at this moment compete fairly. The thing that we consider fair, we can't do that. And see, that was the problem with the old dusty generation. The old dusty ass generation, old DG. And it's not everybody, old dusty generation is not everybody in that generation. It's the ones that submitted to white integration mindset and try to teach the children that kind of stupid ass mindset, just like John Lewis did. So that was look at that. So out here it's a lot of homeless ass people. So that's why, that's another story. Point is, black people, we just need to understand that, we have to pick our leadership. And usually if you're picking good leadership, your leadership is going to be hated by your opposition. They're just going to be hated. Just like with the conversation with Tariq Nasheed and this J.W. Lucas character. These people, they get our vernacular, they sound black, they sound like us, they try to say the right words, and what they're doing is trying to get empathy from us, because genetically, because of the epigenetics, we're literally prone to empathize with these people. But you got to resist that. That's it. That's epigenetics, because for 400 years, the successful model for black people for survival was empathize with the white man, who's your slave master, who's your enemy, who's your oppressor, and then you were more prone to survival. And you were more prone to benefits, you were more prone, but that's going away. The reason why that's going away is because white people don't have nothing to provide you. They can't take care of you no more. So, it is what it is. We need to study Kwame Ture. He was a real leader, a real good, sincere scientist. This man knew how to predict the future. He understood a lot of things. I don't agree with every single thing that he said, but the issues that I disagree with him on are pretty small. Just like the calling ourselves African thing. That's the only thing I didn't. But it's no big deal. I could concede that. That's nothing. I'll call myself an African. The point is unity. I don't care. But I understand the reason why I disagree with that is just because of the whole reason why Africa is called Africa. But I just think black is it's just we chose that. It's just a better term to unite us. It doesn't compete with any of our nationalities. It doesn't compete with any other category that we want to be in. It doesn't compete, and it doesn't erase. Black does not erase any of our various histories all around the world, but it is a point of unity, and that's the only reason why I like African better than, I like black better than African is because African ties you just to that landmass. And we have documented proof that black people have been all over the planet and have made history all over this planet. So, you know, we have Caribbean black people, we got Australian black people, East Indian black people, Native American black people. And so just to tie us to African, it's, you know, I don't think that's the best unifying thing for us. But, you know, to me, that can be worked out easily. So, you know, the thing is, my main thing in wrapping this up is Bill Clinton is your enemy. Hillary Clinton is your enemy. They labeled you super predators. They tried to destroy your whole generation. We're experiencing the lack of the men in the homes and the situation where women are feeling betrayed and abandoned by men. You know, all of that, a lot of that comes out of that sentencing situation with Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and all of those, you know, Frederick Goodwin of the psychologists who put all of these drugs into our community, as far as who labeled us, you know, ignorant and put Ritalin and start drugging people. You know, all of these type of things was done in the 90s. And a lot of people don't understand these type of things. The evil of Frederick Goodwin. We need, you know, look at that video I put on there. But, you know, black folks, I mean, once we start doing a little bit better, which means you got to trust your own leadership. And that is the biggest issue, trusting black leadership. So we have to be made trustworthy. And that takes time to create trustworthy leadership. These trustworthy leadership cannot be just popped out of a can. You gotta, from childhood, develop that guy, develop that woman, so that they will rather be homeless and broke than to betray black folks' business. You know, you gotta, that kind of person has to be fashioned. And, you know, so that takes institutions. So anyway, Bill Clinton is your enemy. Kwame Ture was the right choice, but we made John Lewis' choice that tells you, and now we're doing the same thing. We're getting our ass beat, we're getting our ass shot, just like they were getting in the 60s, because we made the choice that John Lewis, instead of what Stockley Carmichael said, Kwame Ture, Stockley Carmichael said, you need black power. Black power. And that's still true today. We need black power, not integration, not Americanism. And we don't have to see, we are American because of the term right now, but that doesn't mean we have to be loyal to a government that's killing us. Why? I don't have to be loyal to a government that's killing us. It's not going to hurt us. You know, for 400 years, these people told us that we were different than them. They made us, we kept saying we're all human, we bleed the same blood. Of course, there's good white people out there individually. These people, there's some good white people. There's a lot of good white people. But good white people, if you remember that video, the white guy in Texas, he stood on the corner and held the sign up, Black Lives Matter. He might be one good white person, and at the end, he got berated by his own white folks. They called him a nigger. They called him all of these different labels, threatened to kick his ass, beat him up, and kill him. And at the end, the one good white person who did something had to sneak up there, hand him a letter, said, keep doing good job, and run away. So you're telling me the good white people have no power. So we can't fucking we can't be worried about no good white folk. I mean, come on, y'all. These are the type of behaviors that we need to engage in. And if we do it as a group, there's nothing the enemy can really do to stop us. I mean, they can try to frustrate us and scare us, but if you got 500, 600,000 people pooling their resources, 1 million people putting in $18 a year into a fund to invest into black businesses a year. Listen, if you put $18 into a fund to invest in building and organizing black institutions that were loyal to your community, that didn't give a fuck about the white man's politics, because the power is actually inside of us. And you have to understand that that power is in you. We keep thinking that the power is in changing legislation. It's not. It's in changing the policy and what the people will accept as right and wrong. So anyway, Super Mike out. That's it. What's up?